Continue to take pride and learn from Asa Mahan's leadership today. Years of commitment to harnessing the power of creativity, ingenuity, community, and academic excellence.
I believe that if you get your degree, the world is going to feel like shrinking.
Hello and welcome to Inside the Bulldog 53. I'm Jack Whitehead, he's Remington Gilniak, and we've got a jam-packed slate for you today.
Yeah.
Diving into baseball, softball, and more across the board.
Got a lot of sports on the docket today, a lot to get into, so why don't you kick us off, Whitey?
Yeah, let's start things off on the diamond. NCAA baseball has been heating up, and for more, we send it over to Nathan Lindner. For NCAA baseball, they just dropped their opening series of conference play to Alma, but more on that. We send it over to Nathan Lindner.
Thanks, Jack. While the Bulldogs have only played 2 home games this season, we've been keeping tabs on their campaign thus far. With a 13-6 overall record and winning 7 out of their last 9, the NCAA baseball team is heating up at the right time 3 games into MIAA play. Let's look at some of the numbers here. Obviously, the record, and their offense is putting up just over 8 runs per game, 11.5 hits, 36 doubles, and they've actually had at least 2 extra base hits in every game this season, 6 triples, and 13 home runs. Now, that was highlighted by a 4-home run game by the Dogs back on February 20th, their season opener against SUNY Brockport. They nearly matched that in their 15-5 win over the College of Worcester last Wednesday. Let's look at some of the other notable results from the non-conference schedule from the boys at the Nick. 15-9 win against number 23 SUNY Brockport, commanding wins over University of Mount Union, East Texas Baptist University, Huntington College, and then the loss to Denison. They entered conference play riding high with a 6-game win streak, but they were absolutely silenced by the Scots of Alma College this past Friday, getting mercy ruled 11-1 in 8 innings. As for some of the individual players, let's look at some of the standout dogs. This offense is led by junior catcher Gabe Jones. He's batting just under 400 with 3 home runs, 25 RBIs, and a 1.072 OPS. Up with him there is Jack Boyke in the upper 300s as well, a team-leading 14 walks drawn and also getting on base nearly half the time. And Brendan Willitson has jumped into the stat sheet with a 396 batting average and an over 1 OPS. On the other side, Adrian College pitching staff has been solid as well. You have Edward Bieniez and Jackson Clark as the predominant starters for head coach Craig Rainey in his 33rd season as skipper, but it's Ambrose Horwath with a perfect 5-0 record this season. And the main man out of the bullpen, Lincoln Lipinski, and you can see the ERA, innings pitched, and strikeouts. Looking ahead for the Bulldogs, they'll host Albion College today at 4 p.m. and starting a 3-game series this weekend with Calvin on Easter. For more on the NCAA baseball team and follow them along this season, visit AdrianBulldogs.com. Back to the desk with Jack and Remy.
Yeah, kind of a mixed bag of results. Like, you start off with the season, that tough out-of-conference schedule, playing out of state, West Coast, down south, doesn't matter where, and you scratch across a good amount of wins. Then you come back home and kind of expect to start things off and MIAA play strong. They didn't do that, but definitely some things to build off of and, a positive outlook as the weather starts to warm up here.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want to see at this point in the season as they're getting into conference. That's where you want to play your best, building momentum and tightening things up before the stretch run. Switching gears now to softball, where we're seeing a lot of the same competitive energy carry over. For more, as we send it back to our guy with Nathan Lindner.
Thanks, Jack. Now from the turf to the dirt, NCAA softball team Lady Dogs 22 games in and a dead even 11-11 a record. Adrian College has just been struggling to find a little consistency. In wins, they're averaging over 10 runs per game, putting up 12 hits per game and hitting home runs in 6 out of their 11 wins. In losses, however, just over 5 runs per game, over 9 hits and 10 home runs total. 6 of those home runs were in one game against DePaul where they lost 13-10. Unfortunately, it's been their pitching and defense that's been the problem. In wins, they're allowing just over 8 hits, 3 earned runs, and 23 extra base hits, including only 3 home runs. And their defense, 50 errors on the year. They have only gone 1 game without an error this season. Offensively, the Bulldogs are led by Taylor Gerhardt. She's batting over 500 with 8 extra base hits and a 1.335 OPS. Carson Malinich is the long ball threat with 5 home runs, and in the circle predominantly for the Dogs is Avery Clark. She's tossed 63 innings, 5-3 overall with a 4.22 ERA, along with Abby Hoff and Kira Stacy, each tossing over 20 innings. For more on NCAA softball team and all Adrian College athletics, visit AdrianBulldogs.com. Back to the desk with Jack and Remy.
Yeah, there's been just that lack of consistency with the team. Well, obviously Linder mentioned the defense, but over 50 errors. Not a single game without committing an error. That's just something that needs to be tightened up. I understand softball's a fast-paced game. It's so condensed, a small field, and the Michigan conditions can be a little bit difficult. But at the end of the day, they got to find a way to tighten things up and, put the gloves on.
Yeah, they have to tighten things up, but what really stands out to me is they're hitting. They're hitting very well in wins, like Nathan Lindner mentioned. They're scoring a lot of runs, so that's something to keep an eye on. But no question, that offense backing them up makes them that much more dangerous. Stay with us. We're going to take a break here on more on Inside the Bulldog 53 next.
Bulldog fans, remember to follow Adrian College TV on social media. For game highlights and campus events, you can catch it all on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X at Adrian College TV. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all our future streams live and support your Bulldogs.
If there was one word I was going to use to describe the communication arts program at Adrian College, it would be unique. Students find themselves on the radio, in front of and behind the camera, and directing their own programs. Students learn in a personalized environment that sets them up for a world of opportunities. Are you ready for your moment in the limelight? Learn more about the Rush Communications Center and Adrian College's communications program by visiting adrian.edu today.
Are you looking to become a future Bulldog and get recruited by Adrian College? Do you display characteristics of tenacity, drive, and determination? With over 50 teams on campus, there are plenty of opportunities to further both your athletic and academic career. For all recruiting inquiries, head to www.adrianbulldogs.com and click on the Recruit Me tab at the top right of your screen. Your future with the Bulldogs is closer than ever. Are you looking to become a future Bulldog and get recruited by Adrian College? Do you display characteristics of tenacity, drive, and determination? With over 50 teams on campus, there are plenty of opportunities to further both your athletic and academic career. For all recruiting inquiries, head to www.adrianbulldogs.com and click on the Recruit Me tab at the top right of your screen. Your future with the Bulldogs is closer than ever.
Welcome back. Let's keep the ball rolling. We're going to head over to the NCBA Division I and Division III side of things at the baseball field, where both teams have started off very well this year.
Yeah, it's been an interesting, kind of storyline, this spring for Adrian College, brand new D3 team, and they found a way to funnel that D3 team into the D1 team and just overall make the program deeper over time. So, we're seeing some results in the field, and for more on that, we're going to go over to Joshua Mitchell.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, the D1 team is where we'll start off, as they've had some struggles this season, sitting at a 13-9 record, but with strong performances against both Michigan and Michigan State. Big programs, even here at the club level. This weekend, however, it was against Eastern Michigan University, where they claimed 2 big wins, both games big offensive performances, 11+ hits and 10+ runs in both games, fueled the Bulldogs to those 2 wins. Their game today was canceled, so they'll next be in action back at Nicolay Field on April 12th and 10th for a 3-game set with Purdue, and a chance there with some wins to keep their hopes alive at a very slim chance at a playoff berth. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Josh. Yeah, this NCBA Division I team, it just feels like every single year it's them, Michigan, and Michigan State at the top. And this, unfortunately, for the Bulldogs, they've yet to really win one of those big series.
Absolutely, but you got to feel it's going to come eventually. If you kind of look at the scores year by year, every year just gets closer and closer. There was a point where this team never beat Michigan. They never beat Michigan State. Now all of a sudden they're stealing a game in one of those series. And even the ones they're losing, they're close games where one swing could be the difference. And for me, it's only a matter of time before they really start to bring that energy and be able to beat some of the top teams in the conference. But enough for D1. Let's change things over to the Division III side. For more on that, let's go back to Joshua Mitchell.
The D3 team, new team this year, but man, they've come out firing. They are still ranked second in the nation in D3 club baseball. And not only that, they have a perfect 7-0 record in conference. Technically, they haven't clinched the conference yet, as they had one game postponed against the second place team in the conference in Oakland. That game was canceled midway through, with the Bulldogs leading 6-1. So Adrian has a half-game advantage over Oakland, either winning that game when it is replayed, or an Oakland loss at any point will clinch the conference for the Adrian D3 Bulldogs. They're next in action this weekend as well against Sioux College. Again, not a conference series, but another opportunity for this team to prove why they're one of the best D3 clubs in the nation. Back to you.
First season at the NCBA Division III level, and they're ranked 2 in the nation. Remy, what really stands out the most about this team?
I mean, when you watch them play, I think it's the energy. A lot of the time at the Division III NCBA level, it can become almost like a glorified men's league. But now with this team, they practiced all winter long. They are serious about what they're doing, and the results show on the field. I mean, one of the top-ranked teams in the country, and it's for good reason.
Let's shift over to lacrosse. But plenty to talk about with this women's lacrosse team, off to another historic start to the year. They're sitting at 7-2. They just won 20-4 in their conference opener. Ava Lazareshian specialist Madeline Turcott just recently took home MIAA Athlete of the Awards. Lazareski caused 7 turnovers in their win against Alma College, while Madeline Turcott garnered 16 draw controls, a stat now that she leads the conference in. She also chipped in with 8 goals and 5 assists over the weekend. Adrian College will head back to the field to take on 4-6 Kalamazoo on Wednesday, April 1st at Kalamazoo. For more on the men's side of things, I'll throw it back to you, Remy.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to sugarcoat things with the men's side. It's not been a pretty start. 2-7 on the season, outscored 75-139. But there's time to turn it around, and it's time for MIAA play. They open up against Kalamazoo, and for me, it's all about the offense. You got to get it going. A guy like Austin Selvage, the current team leader in goals, he's got to keep putting them up, and the defense got to do their part on the other end.
So we've talked about skill, we've touched on execution, but coming up next, it's all about toughness. Women's rugby coming up next on Inside the Bulldog 53.
Bulldog fans, remember to follow Adrian College TV on social media. For game highlights and campus events, you can catch it all on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X at AdrianCollegeTV. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all our future streams live and support your Bulldogs.
If there was one word I was going to use to describe the communication arts program at Adrian College, it would be unique. Students find themselves on the radio, in front of and behind the camera, and directing their own programs. Students learn in a personalized environment that sets them up for a world of opportunities. Are you ready for your moment in the limelight? Learn more about the Rush Communications Center and Adrian College's communications program by visiting adrian.edu today.
Are you looking to become a future Bulldog and get recruited by Adrian College? Do you display characteristics of tenacity, drive, and determination? With over 50 teams on campus, there are plenty of opportunities to further both your athletic and academic career. For all recruiting inquiries, head to www.adrianbulldogs.com and click on the Recruit Me tab at the top right of your screen. Your future with the Bulldogs is closer than ever. Are you looking to become a future Bulldog and get recruited by Adrian College? Do you display characteristics of tenacity, drive, and determination? With over 50 teams on campus, there are plenty of opportunities to further both your athletic and academic career. For all recruiting inquiries, head to www.AdrianBulldogs.com and click on the Recruit Me tab at the top right of your screen. Your future with the Bulldogs is closer than ever.
Welcome back. Women's rugby team traveled to New York the past weekend. They had some very good results, winning 3 of 4 matches. We're going to send that over to Michael Schubeck for more on women's rugby.
Thank you, Jack. Well, the women's rugby team traveled to the Bonnie Sevens after slipping to start their spring season. A perfect 12-0 fall, fell their first 4, and then they traveled to New York, where they did phenomenal. They went 4-1 on the weekend. It was led by Madison McDonald and Jersey Wilson. 7 tries and 11 conversions for Madison McDonald, and 3 tries for Jersey Wilson. It was phenomenal, though. They took down Niagara, Buffalo State, Norwich University, and St. Bonaventure before they fell to Fairfield. But overall, a great way to get back on track in the spring season for the Adrian College women's rugby team. Back to you, Jack.
Yeah, you gotta love rugby. Such an interesting sport, starting to become a lot more popular over here in the U.S. And, well, our women's team, well, they're putting up some great numbers. Definitely a great, entertaining product to watch. And, well, can't wait to watch more from them.
Yeah, really impressive to see for the women's rugby team. We're going to switch gears over here to cornhole. Adrian College hosted on their home floor this weekend, and it turned into a dominant showing for the Bulldogs. They picked up 2 first-place finishes on the day, including a win in the team event. In singles play, Abby Sawicki led the way with a second-place finish, taking down top collegiate competition, including one of our very own national champion, Alex Weaver. Zach Blaylock also reached the podium, finishing in 3rd place. In doubles, it was an all-Adrian College final, with Abigail Trepkowski and Ethan Freeman taking the title over teammates Aiden Cecilia and Zach Blaylock. A strong showing all the way around, and it shows just how deep this cornhole roster is.
Absolutely. Not a sport you typically think of as, well, really a sport, but they've certainly proven otherwise. I mean, it seems like every single week or two we're getting a new story about how one of these players is doing something no one else has ever done from this college and the cornhole scene. So, I mean, just great stuff from them.
Yeah, great stuff all the way around from that cornhole. Next up, a team that may fly under the radar but deserves a closer look. We're going to bring in Ava Aker for some equestrian.
Thank you, guys. So let's look at the strong postseason run with Lauren Barkowitz helping her team at semifinals, along with just 2 other riders, making this a big achievement for the program. Lauren says qualifying for semifinals meant a lot after a season of long, hard work. Quote, "It felt really cool to qualify for semifinals. It took a lot of hard work throughout the season to be able to make it this far in postseason," quote. Throughout the season, she's focused on staying consistent and trusting her prep each time she competes. Quote, "Before I go to the arena, I try to focus on what I know and how I'm sitting on the saddle, sitting up tall, and keeping my elbows tight. I focus on myself and what I've been doing in practice." One unique part of equestrian is that riders are assigned horses at random, which means adapting quickly is key. Quote, "In this sport, we pick our horses at random. So you don't really build a connection. It's more about the technique and how you ride the horse." Lauren also says a big part of her play is her teammates and her coach. They love to push her and help her improve every single day. Quote, "Being a part of the team pushes me to improve because my teammates and my coaches, they always push me to be better." As a student athlete, she emphasizes importance of balancing academics and competing. Quote, "I balance my academics and being an athlete by putting my studies first. Everyone also is very understanding with knowing that school comes first." For Barkowitz, competing at semifinals and helping other riders represent Adrian marks a meaningful moment for her in the season and for the program as well. Back up to you guys.
Equestrian is such an interesting and fun sport. People don't realize just how much goes in, to training not only yourself but with the horse. There's so many components that come together, and it's fun to watch. It's pretty cool.
It really is fun to watch, no doubt about that. We've got one more break, but stick around. Don't go anywhere. More inside the Bulldog 53 next.
Bulldog fans, remember to follow Adrian College TV on social media. For game highlights and campus events, you can catch it all on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X at AdrianCollegeTV. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all our future streams live and support your Bulldogs.
If there was one word I was going to use to describe the communication arts program at Adrian College, it would be unique. Students find themselves on the radio, in front of and behind the camera, and directing their own programs. Students learn in a personalized environment that sets them up for a world of opportunities. Are you ready for your moment in the limelight? Learn more about the Rush Communications Center and Adrian College's communications program by visiting adrian.edu today.
Are you looking to become a future Bulldog and get recruited by Adrian College? Do you display characteristics of tenacity, drive, and determination? With over 50 teams on campus, there are plenty of opportunities to further both your athletic and academic career. For all recruiting inquiries, head to www.adrianbulldogs.com and click on the Recruit Me tab at the top right of your screen. Your future with the Bulldogs is closer than ever. Are you looking to become a future Bulldog and get recruited by Adrian College? Do you display characteristics of tenacity, drive, and determination? With over 50 teams on campus, there are plenty of opportunities to further both your athletic and academic career. For all recruiting inquiries, head to www.adrianbulldogs.com and click on the Recruit Me tab at the top right of your screen. Your future with the Bulldogs is closer than ever.
Let's hit the ice. ACHA Division I's men's hockey team made a run all the way to the national championship as a 9 seed. The Bulldogs defeated the likes of number 1 Minot State and reigning national champions number 4 UNLV before ultimately falling to the Ohio Bobcats University 3-1 in a hard-fought national championship game. Nothing short of brilliance once again from this Bulldog team head coached by Gary Estalos. Remy, how does a team like this consistently make it back to St. Louis year in and year out?
I think it starts with just the culture that this team has. You walk around the campus of Adrian College, you see Bulldog hockey, and it really means something. The players take so much pride in representing Adrian College on the ice, and well, the results speak for themselves. Year after year, they're contending for national championships. At minimum, they're getting to the playoffs every year. So it's amazing to me that year after year, they continue to be this consistently dominant.
And I think a lot of that goes into head coach Gary Estalos and his recruiting ability for this Adrian College ACHA Division I team. You don't really think of club hockey as a big get-around here, especially up here in Adrian, Michigan. So a lot of that goes into head coach Gary Estalos, and a lot of credit deserves to come his way. That's going to do it for us. From everyone behind the scenes, myself, Jack Whitehead, he's Remington Gilniak. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Inside the Bulldog 53. And as always, go Bulldogs.
Continue to take pride and learn from Asa Mahan's leadership today. "161 years of